Good evening. I'm Eileen Coughlin. I'm the Vice President for Enrollment and Student Services here at Western. It's a great honor to begin Convocation by introducing our first speaker, President Bruce Shepard. Bruce came to our campus 4 years ago, bringing his many strengths and talents with him. He's a good listener, a person interested and eager to engage all of us as we work to shape Western's future on your behalf. You will often hear him say, "We do not teach history or biology or philosophy, we teach people." Higher education is not a mechanical transformation of information, it is a fire inspirationally ignited through human interaction. People teach people. He's a great thinker with humanistic qualities that match Western's commitments. And he likes to just be called Bruce. He's committed to providing you with a collegiate experience in which you are challenged, engaged, and involved in ways that change lives. Please welcome to the stage the president of Western Washington University, Bruce Shepard.
Thank you very much, Eileen, and thank you all for being here. Cindy joins in offering a really warm welcome to you. We were just preparing to come over here saying this is our favorite evening of the year for a lot of reasons, all of which are the people sitting right here, right now. You're what it's all about, why we so enjoy being here to help serve you. I want to say a few words about that. First, thank you for introducing me as Bruce. When you see me on campus, I do go by Bruce. Don't hesitate to do that. We came most recently from Wisconsin, where when I'd walk into the basketball games, the student rooting section would all start chanting, "Brew, brew, brew." In fact, maybe I should ask you to practice. No, I won't. But that does great things to your ego until somebody pointed out, Chancellor, I think what they're doing is telling you what they want you to serve at the student union. Of course, here would be coffee. That's what it would be. I'm absolutely certain of that. And the parents who are watching this on live streaming, I want you to be sure that that's what's on everybody's mind here as well. We do want to welcome you. As I do go by Bruce, or if you want to get into tweeting, it's actually Pres Bruce, if you want to check that out. Cut me a little slack. I'm just trying to learn how to do this tweeting stuff, but having a lot of fun with it. I do want to get serious for just a moment on a couple of subjects, and Eileen is absolutely right. Well, our guarantee to you is to provide you with the very best faculty and staff. We're committed to do that, the finest facilities, to assure the highest quality undergraduate education I believe you can get in the state of Washington. That's our commitment to you. That's just part of it, because it is people who teach people, and it is about relationships. And it's very important that we were just talking with faculty and staff before coming over here about the importance of relationships as part of education. But that's a two-way street. You need to commit to the quality of the relationships with the faculty and staff on this campus, with the other students, with the university as a whole. We just have tons of research that shows if you do that, if you get engaged, whatever it is, outside of the classroom, athletics, student government, religious organization, an activity club, you name it. What the research shows is that, ironically, as you spend more time on those outside activities, you'll be all the more successful inside, academically, in doing your own schoolwork. And you pick up something else, a secret of life, which is your life as you leave here will be all the more fulfilling and rewarding, having developed those particular habits of engagement. It's important to develop relationships for other reasons as well. We're a campus that this is a period of stress as you change and evolve and take on new challenges and grow. Growth does come with stress, and there are sometimes problems that arise. There are so many people here who want to help you inside the classroom and out. In fact, I want you to make a promise to me that if you're feeling the need to grab some help, whether it's academically, whether it's a personal crisis, that you get the help this campus is organized and committed to do. We're also a campus committed to taking care of each other. And I want you to also commit to me that you will help take care of the students you get to know here. If you see them having problems, reach out. Maybe helping them is beyond what you can do. There are people here you can contact who will help as well. That's really, really important to assure the success of this community looking forward. It's a community wherever I go, our alumni are so proud to call themselves Vikes. And it is because of the fact that at this campus we care about each other, we take care of each other. The last commitment I'll ask you to make, the proudest time of my professional life, is handing you your diploma. We're going to make sure that's a diploma well worth having, that you'll take on to put your higher education to higher purposes. Be there to receive that diploma as well. Thank you very much.
Our next speaker is your spokesman. It's my pleasure to introduce Ethan Gleemaker, your Associated Student Body President. The Associated Students is both the association for all Western students and it is the official student governing body. The AS is responsible for providing a framework for a variety of experiential learning opportunities and serving as a vehicle for student involvement in governance of the university. As the AS president, Ethan chairs the AS board meetings, the AS operations, and represents the associated students to the university administration. Ethan is a senior at Western and a native of Elk, Washington. He is an English Literature and Fairhaven College of Interdisciplinary Studies major, focusing on diversity and cultural creation of identity in the classroom. Please join me in welcoming Ethan Gleemaker up to the stage.
Thank you, Dr. Coughlin, and thank you, Bruce, for your wonderful remarks. Whoa. Wow. Can I have you all just take a deep breath with me really quickly? Ready? You did it. You are sitting in the Performing Arts Center main stage at Western Washington University. I can feel the energy as you take in these welcoming remarks and the fact that you are now real live, not only college students, but Western students. Congratulations. As Dr. Coughlin mentioned, my name is Ethan Gleemaker, and I am your Associated Students President. First and foremost, welcome. I can't begin to describe to you all how I felt 3 years ago as I sat in these exact same seats. But I'll go ahead and give it a shot because I imagine some of you may feel the same way. I was nervous, overwhelmed from the amount of people I was meeting, scared, but mostly I was very unsure of my decision to come to Western. Something had not quite fallen into place yet, but I remember vividly as I sat here listening to those welcoming remarks, and all of my fears were finally quelled. Not completely, but at that moment I knew that I was in the right place and that I had made the right decision. There were quite a few things that changed my mind, and at that time I definitely had not realized how spectacular of a home Western really is. Western is distinguished from other universities in so many ways. For one, our commitment to excellence and the way Western students, faculty, and staff care for one another is remarkable. You don't ever need to be concerned that there isn't a place for you because there are countless resources to ensure that the needs of every single student on this campus are met if they only ask. Additionally, and I'm not typically a fan of throwing statistics at folks, but it's important to know that Western was ranked top in green energy purchasers by the Environmental Protection Agency, and we were ranked one of the top colleges in America by Forbes magazine. So I, for one, am pretty darn proud to call myself a Viking. Our opportunity to receive a world-class liberal arts and sciences education is exceptional, and you all just joined a community that values academic honesty and academic excellence. I hope you are all prepared to receive that world-class education because that's what we do. Western deliberately makes sure that every single student is served well by our top-notch faculty, who enable us to be change makers because Western recognizes our potential. It recognizes the potential of each and every one of us. That's the reason you were admitted. For those of you who attended Summer Start, you may have heard me say this before, but being here is a privilege. In the grand scheme of things, there are very few who are afforded this opportunity right here and right now. To attend a university and to work toward a degree that will enable you to actively participate in the world around you as a global citizen and to delve into the broad exploration we call human inquiry. It is a privilege. It is an awe-inspiring privilege to be here right now. But Also, Western is privileged to have you. Western has the honor of being your home in this time of growth. Like I said, we know that you've got something great to offer the world, and that's why we want you here. You are all joining over 11,000 other students as we collectively strive to better the world, but that's a huge responsibility. Amidst making new friends and investing your time, energy, and yourself, remember that you have that responsibility to take what you learn here and use it to somehow better the world around you and to somehow better the lives of the people around you, as well as the lives of the people whom you will never meet. That is your challenge these next few years, should you choose to accept it, and I sincerely hope you do. So, I will say it again. Welcome. Class of 2016, welcome to Western. Welcome to this new community and to this new space for your growth and for your inquiry, and welcome to your new home. On behalf of the Associated Students of Western Washington University, we are so pleased that you chose to join us. So thank you all. I now have the pleasure of introducing your next speaker, who is one of our outstanding faculty members. And in fact, he received the Excellent Teaching Award just recently, as well as a Research Award. He is a professor of geology, so it is my pleasure to welcome to the stage Dr. Tor Hansen.
Thanks, Ethan. Good evening, everybody. You're all new to Western and will have some shared experiences, but you're all also different with various backgrounds and skill sets. Some of you will do great here, some not so great. My own freshman experience was in the not so great category. And I'm going to tell you about my experience as a freshman and hope there's a lesson in it for you. I was a college freshman in 1969. How long ago was 1969? As a geologist, I'm accustomed to talking about ancient history. In 1969, Richard Nixon was the new president. A gallon of gas cost 35 cents. And my wife wanted me to tell you that the minimum wage was $1.35 an hour. A new Volkswagen Beetle cost $1,800. The average cost of a house was $25,000. And most amazingly of all, the Rolling Stones were young. But college classrooms were not very different from today's. They were big square rooms full of students at small desks with chalkboards and a professor up front. We still came to class and we took notes and we listened and we tried to pass our exams. I went to Potomac High School in Maryland. There I am right there. That's my senior photo from the yearbook, 1969. I was a good student and I was a science geek. I won awards at science fairs and I was a runner-up in the National Westinghouse Science Talent Search. My grades were good, but they were, B average. But they weren't stellar because I tended to work hard in the classes I liked and I tended to slack off in the classes I didn't like very much. I wanted to be a geologist. After I graduated from high school, my parents pressured me to go straight into college. My mother was afraid that if I took time off, I would stray and never go back to school. There was also the concern that if I didn't go to college, I might be drafted in the Army and go to Vietnam. The all-volunteer Army didn't appear until the early 70s. I couldn't afford to go to an out-of-state college, and I couldn't afford to live on campus. So I lived in my parents' basement and commuted to George Washington University in Washington, D.C., which was the only school in the area that had a good geology program. My parents paid most of my tuition. I wasn't emotionally ready for college. I wanted to do well, but it was hard to go to classes I didn't like. I would come out of my geology class and have 10 minutes to get to introductory German, and I would just suddenly feel so tired. In college, no one makes you go to class, so I thought maybe I'd just skip class that day and work extra hard on German homework that night. Of course, in subjects like German or math, you can't skip classes without falling behind, and once I was behind, it was even harder to make myself go to class. I didn't exactly flunk out my first year, but I just sort of limped along. By the end of my sophomore year, I had a couple of A's, and some B's and C's and D's and an F or two. You know, I still occasionally have an anxiety dream where I dream I'm going back to school and there's a final exam coming up and I haven't gone to class all quarter. Anyway, it was clear that I was wasting my parents' money and I was miserable living at home. So I quit school, got a job, left home and moved into a house with my girlfriend. Quitting school at that point was the best thing I could have done. It was exciting finally being on my own and in charge of my own life. But it got old fast as I had to be at work every day at 7:30 a.m. at a job I didn't like and got a paycheck that barely covered my bills. I thought about different careers and grew up a little and finally came to the conclusion I really wanted to be a geologist and become a professor. So I went back to school. I got nearly all A's. I still had classes I didn't like, and I still dreaded going to them. But by then I realized that it was irrelevant whether I liked the class or not. Did I want to be a professor or not? So I got my bachelor's degree with a cumulative GPA of about 3.0. Normally this would not be good enough to get into a good graduate school, but my grades showed marked improvement after I came back to school, and I had excellent letters from my professors, so I got into Yale Graduate School. After I graduated with my PhD in 1978, I taught at the University of Texas, and I came to Western in 1985. Since then, I have taken advantage of many of the great opportunities afforded me here. I've hiked the Cascades. I've commanded a starship. I've dressed like a woman. And I'll tell you, it's difficult finding clothes in my size. Well, I'm not exactly sure what that is next to me there. Actually, that's my wife. But in addition to these career highlights, I've gotten to know a lot of great students, like those in my freshman interest groups, to whom I have imparted hard-earned wisdom. I look forward to getting to know many more of you. Welcome to Western. Thank you. Those of you who have moved into Edens or Nash on Sunday may have seen Eileen Coughlin in a help t-shirt unloading cars, carrying boxes, and directing traffic. Much as she loves doing those things, her normal duties are as the Senior Vice President and Vice President for the Enrollment and Student Services at Western, a position she has held for 18 years. Ellen received her doctorate in educational psychology in 1988 with research in the area of creativity and divergent thinking. At Western, Eileen is responsible for enrollment and student services, which comprises everything associated with student life here, from admissions and financial aid to wellness services. Please join me in welcoming Eileen.
So welcome to Bellingham. Yeah. And welcome to Western. Welcome to a place where active minds are changing lives. And welcome to your new community of friends. And welcome to the Western experience, where our rich traditions, like this evening's convocation and our graduation ceremonies, make Western an extraordinary place to be a student. You've made it. The boxes are unpacked. You've updated your Facebook profile. And you've texted Mom and Dad to assure them you're doing great. You are the recipients of their commitment to your education and to the generosity of donors who value your future by supporting scholarships for Western students. Your first year at Western is about to begin. This is a time to learn about yourself, about your strengths, about appreciating the similarities and differences in people, about establishing new relationships and becoming a part of Western. I imagine you may be wondering what life is going to be like. Are you going to do well in your classes and find a major you really like? Will you find friends you can be yourself with? What will the next few years hold in store? These are all good questions, and we know you'll find answers in thoughtful ways. In a few minutes, I'm going to invite you to ask yourself a different kind of question, I'm going to ask you to think about the bigger picture of your college education, to reflect on the hopes you have for yourself, perhaps the hopes of your parents, grandparents, family, and community have for you. I'll start with one of the hopes that we have for you. Those of us who teach, advise, and counsel you hope that sometime soon in one of your classes, in the middle of a conversation with faculty or friends, sometime soon in your journey as a Western student, you'll have an aha moment, an insight, a moment of realization when you know this whole experience, all of the classes, the projects, the assignments, the study sessions, the papers, the exams, all of this adds up to something much greater than the sum of its parts. We hope that sometime soon you have that aha moment and realize this is all about you, about discovering what matters to you as a person. Something you recognize as your own authentic learning experience. I don't know what the aha will be for you, but I've heard stories from students who describe the moment when they realized that what they were studying in their classes had the potential to change the lives of children they were working with as a volunteer in Compass to Campus, or the time they worked on a class project that mattered to them more than the grade, a project that gave them a new perspective and guided them toward a major they felt passionate about, or the moment they understood that the creatures of ancient times they were studying in geology class, that would be Tor's geology class, had actually existed within a few miles of the classroom. We hope that connections and insights like these will show you that your education at Western can do more than increase your knowledge, develop your skills, or make you marketable. Your education at Western can transform you. It can provide one opportunity after another to think in new ways that change your life and the lives of other people. So in the midst of buying your books at the AS bookstore, going to classes and getting your bearings, take your first steps tomorrow towards getting the most out of college, towards exploring and discovering what you want your life to be. Having said that, I imagine some of you are wondering, you're asking me to think about the meaning of the next few years when I'm not even sure how I'm going to get around campus the next few days. That brings me to my second reason I'm here tonight. I'm here to offer some practical suggestions on getting the most out of your college experience. These suggestions come from two sources. First, institutional research. Second, more informally, from the stories we hear from Western students who've told us how they made the most out of college. Think of these suggestions as advice originating from the experts, previous Western students. When we look at the research on our students and listen to their voices, three themes emerged. First, we know from experience that a key component to success is putting and keeping your academic goals first. You came to Western because you want challenge in the classroom, diverse learning experiences, and mentoring relationships with outstanding faculty. Most Western students make a serious investment in their education, spending an average of 15 hours or more in class each week, and at least that much time out of class, studying and doing homework and working in labs. We've learned from previous first-year and transfer students that study skills, writing styles, and approaches to reading that worked well in the past may not work as well here. Think of gaining new study skills as an investment that can grow your confidence, your knowledge, and your success each time you use them. Protect your academic health by finding and using faculty and academic advisors, as well as resources like the Tutoring Center, Academic Advising, and Career Services Centers. Put academics first and stay on top of the details of academic life. Be in charge of your education. Second, get the facts on college life. Sometimes students arrive on campus with preconceived notions of college life. Don't confuse real college life with the college life that's often portrayed in media or in movies. Set the record straight on college students. Remember that the reality of college life for the vast majority of students has nothing to do with stereotypical images or extreme behaviors. Most students here at Western and nationally work hard and play healthy. Third and finally, we know that learning takes place both inside and outside the classroom. Look at the campus and the Bellingham community as your classroom and get involved in at least one activity other than your courses. That may sound like a contradiction. On the one hand, I say prioritize your academics. On the other hand, get involved in other activities. Research shows that the commitment to one or two activities outside the classroom may actually energize and support your academic work. Take advantage of the many opportunities that already exist or create your own club or activity. Some students get involved by giving back in the local community and volunteering their time off campus, like working on the project for the Nooksack Salmon Enhancement Association, or working to preserve the natural environment. Other students give service to their peers on campus through positions as student advisors and peer educators. You might choose to be a peer health educator, participating in projects like Men's Wellness Team, or as a resident advisor, living and working in your residence hall community, or become an orientation student advisor, welcoming families and orienting new students to campus for classes and during summer start and transition. For many students, involvement comes in the form of employment. These students spend a substantial part of every week working for pay to learn new skills and help themselves and their families in on-campus and off-campus jobs. For others, getting involved means participating in one of the many student clubs and activities, such as one of the dance or music clubs. Many students opt to sharpen their leadership team-building skills through Western's Leadership Advantage, including joining or taking leadership role in a student club or organization, or participating in Earth Day, or getting out to vote, becoming involved in the Associated Students, or through organized physical activities. Thousands of Western students participate in intramurals and club sports each year. Hundreds participate in varsity athletics. There's also the Blue Crew, a student group dedicated to making sports and school fun spirit for everyone. Getting involved doesn't mean joining a formal group or club. Some students make a difference simply by being and acting on the changes they want to see in the world. Many of you will find a place to get involved this fall while reading and discussing The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks. Others of you will get involved by following a passion. That's what happened to members of the men's basketball team who won the Division II national title this past year. Woo! And when 16 Western students came home from competing against 400 other colleges and universities in the Model United Nations Conference with the prestigious top honor of being named the outstanding delegation for the third time. You're about to join a very special group of people, the students of Western, who send you these final messages. Make a serious commitment to learning because first and foremost, you're a student. It's never too early to begin building your resume, signing up on Viking Career Link, or connecting with alumni in your area of interest. Be preventative and proactive in using Western's advising and counseling resources. Don't wait for a crisis before you turn to people who can help you figure things out. Reach out and speak up if you or someone you know is struggling. Western students, faculty, and staff have created a culture of caring that extends to each and every one of you. College is a time filled with constant change and endless challenges. Expect the stress that comes with this and discover ways to manage it. Seek out your friends. Get involved and take advantage of the diverse campus activities and community service projects. Exercise, relax, and hang out at Wade King Student Recreation Center. Keep things in perspective. Assess whether the thing you're upset over today will be a concern a year from now, or that matter 2 weeks from now. Engage in small acts of leadership and kindness that have the power to change the world in the quiet moments when no one is looking. Let your curiosity take you to new heights and in new directions. Listen with an open mind to what others believe or think, even when you don't agree. Reach beyond your comfort zone. Walk a mile in somebody else's shoes. I want to welcome you to your new community and wish you a terrific year here at Western. We have a short video to share, and then I'll be back to provide you the closing ceremony remarks. This evening, you began the process of joining the Western community, and it's now my pleasure to invite you to participate in our final activity of the evening. You were given note cards as you entered in tonight. I want you to take a few minutes now and write down a couple of words that reflect a goal, a hope, or a dream that you have, perhaps even an apprehension or anxiety that you would like to share with no one but yourself. So I want to give you a few minutes just to write that down. Once you've done that, I'm going to ask for you to wait for Bruce or President Shepherd to lead us out. And as we leave the hall, we will be following down Memory Walk, and you'll see some rows of faculty, staff, and returning students. At the end of the procession, you'll leave that card that you have in the Memory Walk box located in front of Old Main, where we will wait to greet you. This walk will occur again at your commencement, and upon graduation, when you walk through, you'll leave at that time a memento. And I want to say this is the 100th year of celebrating that memory walk at commencement. So it's really an amazing ceremony at the commencement time that we do, and this is kind of the introduction to that ceremony. So let's let the evening begin. President Shepherd will lead us out, and you will follow, and I know that we have some staff that will be helping with that. Thank you so much, and welcome to Western.